holding our tongue. Go get us on the team, yeah, we getting it done. And shout out to Travell, yo, you number one. It started with a dream that turned into a vision. To educate new generations is our mission. Ears to the streets, yeah, we steady politicking. If it ain't about the change, mind your business.
Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it.
Now tune into another episode of Wait Again Minute podcast. I am Gam, and this evening I have a special co-host because my co-host, let's see, she's sick, so she's not with us tonight. So, but with that being said, we have a good guest tonight. I think. You think? Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have Mr. Eugene Swinson, and we're going to find out a little bit about him and the programs that he is running and why he is running, and try to get in his business, try to figure him out just a little bit. So with that being said, Mr. Swinson, how are you?
I'm good.
You good?
So I look at you under.
We can look at me. Mm-hmm. So you're good? You had a good weekend?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it was a little busy. It's always busy.
So, but busy is good.
Yeah, busy. I got some sleep on Saturday.
Oh.
Was that the day the time went back?
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, Saturday morning, Sunday
That's
morning.
probably why I slept through that.
You know what? That hour had me. I didn't go to church because of that hour. Then today I had a funeral and I was running late too.
Right.
So
my time in my car I haven't switched back yet, so I kept looking from my phone to my car. But yeah, that extra hour, it did me good this weekend. At least it felt like that.
It felt like that. So, introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners of Wait Again Minute.
Like my name.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about you. Yeah, your name.
Eugene Swinson. I'm co-founder and director of Big Homies Community Outreach, and also director of Little Homies Youth Enrichment and Recreation Center here in Portsmouth.
Okay, cool. So tell us a little bit about you, like growing up.
I'm from the City of Portsmouth. I grew up in housing projects close to here called Alabama. I always like to tell people.
You grew up in Alabama?
Yeah, I'm from Alabama.
I used to be scared of them boys.
But so now you can understand why.
Yeah. You do what you do.
I grew up in that environment, so I'm kind of used to it. Went to school in Norfolk though.
Okay.
Went to high school in Norfolk, so that's how I'm kind of good on both sides. I kind of grew up on both sides of the world. I did most of my whatever in Portsmouth.
Okay.
Specifically Audubon.
Okay.
Specifically. Most of the charges I caught as a juvenile were in Audubon. Just about every last one of them.
Okay, so stay right there. So you said as a juvenile. So what age were you when you caught your first charge?
13. Heroin charge.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
You heroin?
Yeah, you got to think, man. During the time when I grew up,
I'm trying.
Portsmouth was known as like for people in the street, like us, and the city of Richmond were known as like people say heroin,
right,
or heroin capital of Virginia. Like you can pretty much come at any corner. Not so much now, but when I was growing up, pretty much every corner somebody was selling heroin. So
now you know what. Now that you said that, that is absolutely true. Because,
remember that now, right?
Now I remember because, mind you, we're from Suffolk, right? So they always be like, they used to get on a truck or anything, and it used to be like a group of guys, all of them coming to Portsmouth to get that, and they be falling asleep.
And they'll come to Portsmouth, and see the other thing too is just because I was in the street, like being that you couldn't get it on every corner in Suffolk, you might have a guy that'll come and a score for everybody. Wow. He might come by something wholesale, might get 100 for like 700.
Oh,
and then he'll go back and make $1,000. He'll sell them for $10. Like come get them for $700, and he'll go sell them for $10. Make him a good 300. It's a little more to it too.
Yeah.
But like, cause you could like, oh my God.
It's crazy. So you were 13 and you had your first charge and it was heroin.
It was heroin. Yeah.
And
Driving can't remember what kind of car it was, but it was like, back in the day you can give the people who are on drugs in the car. So then they went to my mother's house first looking for me, found out what kind of car I was driving. And I got to law. That was my first case. That was my first charge. I got probation for it.
Yeah, probation. Yeah.
But I got probation in so they found me guilty in the city of Portsmouth. And during the time that I was locked up, my mother moved to Norfolk, right across the street from Booker T Mission College.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
She moved over there, so they moved my disposition at the time, I guess my sentencing to Norfolk. So I got found guilty in Portsmouth, and they transferred me to a group home in Norfolk where I got sentenced to probation though.
Wow.
I was like 13 years old. That was the start of it all.
So you were outside early. Like what?
Yeah, but you know what's so crazy? This is before I even tell you what made me get outside early. This is how I can relate to some of the changes mentally the kids go through. Because you got to think, if I was 13 years old, so probably at 11 or 12 years old, I was the editor of my school newspaper at West Haven Elementary. So I used to do the whole thing. I used to walk around with the camera and take the pictures and ask the questions for the stories. I used to write the stories and take the pictures. So I go from that. So that's why I can't, like, when I see the kids going from, damn, this kid was just 11 years old. He was in elementary school. He's playing rec ball. And then 2 years later, we was just talking about it, that he locked up for a first-degree murder. You kind of like, damn, where was the disconnect at?
Yeah.
So I can kind of say my parents, my mom, she wasn't like on drugs or like she fought hard as hell to get out of Audubon, to get her job, do internships, to even move to Mission College.
Right.
But I took it upon myself to not be a burden. Isn't a lot of kids do that shit now? Like, a lot of kids do it now where they want to be, they're the man of the house unofficially.
Right.
Because they see how much their mother is struggling, and they like, I got 2 younger siblings, and they like, you ain't got to worry about taking care of me. I'm going to go and I'll be able to give you whatever. Like, I remember paying my mother to come to court with me. She going to kill me for saying that.
Paying her to come to court?
Yeah, because now think about it from a mom's standpoint. From her standpoint, when I'm locked up as a juvenile, you can't get out unless your mom comes. Yeah, your legal guardian comes and gets you. Legal guardian has to come to court with you. Legal guardian got to bail you out.
Right.
When you go to a bondsman as a juvenile, they want the parent to sign, not just like as an adult. I could get you. I got the money. I can just get you to come get me.
Right.
But as a juvenile, they want your parent to do it. And my mother, I was wilding so hard.
She was like, "This is too much.
You need to just stay in there."
Yeah.
But the dudes I was dealing with, Tywater Park guys in Norfolk, like, some of these guys own clubs right here. They was like, I'm like, man, you got to give her her money for whatever she taking off work that day. So the money that she was making for that day, I bribed her. Like, come on, man, you got to get me out of here.
Wow.
Yeah,
so you pay her to get you out. Now, what happened after that? Were you actually good, or you just?
No, that was the start of the
outside.
Yes, like I was outside there, like.
So let me tell you something. What I've heard. I've heard people say before,
about me.
No. People in the street, and they be like, it's an addiction.
It wasn't an addiction for me. It wasn't addiction. It was more. It was more so what everybody was doing around me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we grew up out of Barber, and some of these guys that's still here. Growing up out of Barber, you had guys from New York out there selling drugs. Like, I'm talking about crews. There's 5 or 6 people coming down here, find a girl in the projects, and they got work, find out who the guy is.
Set up shop.
And they set up shop. But at the time when I was young, you had guys from New York and Miami out there. I even like to joke and say, you even have the GB's guys acting like they was from New York. For sure. Yeah. Just coming out there because you heard it was money out there. Out of Barber was that big where this group can be on South Street, this group can be over this side on County Street, and then you got a whole nother group of guys down the 1400 block.
And it wasn't no issue. So it wasn't no issue.
Eventually it became issues with them beefing with each other for whatever reason. And to me that springboarded me and the guys that I hung with. Because like I like to describe it like this: like you come plant seeds and water it, and then you move away and leave us there to whatever you grew. That's pretty much how it was when the police and the robbers and whatever ran these out of town guys away. The customers were still coming. You know what I'm saying?
So somebody had to supply them.
Of course. And for us, if I'm just, how many times I'm gonna walk out my door and somebody asks me, do I have something? I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
When I'm seeing friends of mine, you know, eventually everybody getting into it, these guys going to parties and they fresh, and I'm just want to be this good kid. And nah.
And you ain't fresh.
Nah. I'm doing bad out here. we can't get school closed to the 5th.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying?
So I get it. So when you outside early and you learned this fast life, right? But when you learn this fast life, it put you in certain places. So did you ever go to prison?
Yes.
For how long did you go to prison?
4 years. Well, it equaled 4 years because the way the time worked out. So like I was telling you in there, when I've told this story a bunch of times. I like to set it up with, because people familiar with when Hillary Clinton was running for president, and the Black community was like, oh nah, we remember in 1992, 1993, where y'all was around here calling young Black males super predators, and y'all changed the laws. They were actually saying like young Black, they weren't human. These were like savage kids that you had to change the laws. So they did. They changed the laws, and they made the laws that a kid as young as 13 years old can go to prison. You know what I'm saying? So I caught 2 shooting cases.
Yeah. Not you were a shooter and
and listen, I'm a little older now, and I used to justify it for a long time when I was younger. I used to be like, well, I'm not the guy that's a pit bull. Like that's the pit bull off the leash. I wasn't no robber. I wasn't somebody who did something to people just because I'm mean and I got a gun. But I was one that if you bother me at that age, 9 times out of 10, that's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So I had 2 shooting cases. I had one case where I shot a guy in the leg. He was trying to fight.
Trying to fight you?
Yeah, he was like 6'6" though, and I was like 15.
Oh, so you want to bring him down to?
Yeah, I mean, it was the reason why we was trying to fight was it was kind of pointless. And looking back at it, I kind of like I could have walked away. It was like he's walking with his girlfriend. That's how stupid it was. He walking with his girlfriend, somebody who I used to talk to, and she stopped to talk to me, and he kept walking. So I'm telling her like, oh, this supposed to be your man.
Yeah, right.
And he just gonna leave you right here with me. And then I look, and I can't hear what he's saying, but he's waving his arms like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I walked with her back to him. And when I got to him, he just was, he was a little rowdy, and I'm just like, because I remember it. I mean, I had a jean jacket on. So, inside your jean jacket is like this little
pocket.
Yeah, so I had my gun laid upside down right here. And I'm just like, are you sure you want to, what I'm saying? And when I pulled the gun out, he tried to grab me and grab the gun at the same time.
So he accidentally got shot.
That's what I told the judge. I swear to God, I told the judge. Listen. I told that judge that he grabbed me, and when I yanked away, the gun fired. But that's not really what happened. When he grabbed me, I broke away and I shot him. And then when he fell on the ground, I shot again while he was on the ground, and I was like, I could have killed you. Yeah, I was tripping, bro.
Oh my God! But it goes along with the lifestyle, though. It's like
No, I think it goes along not the drug lifestyle. I think it goes along with the carrying a gun lifestyle.
Okay, gotcha.
Because even now, they still go through this now. These guns, these kids feel like they got some type of superpower, and you actually do, man. You have the power to take somebody else's life, bro. Like that's like. But to me, I just think they don't understand
the magnitude.
Remember, I told you that it's like a video game. They think they can just we can just turn this off, or reset it. We gonna play it again. Like, nah,
it doesn't work like that.
No, it does not.
Hold on.
This house, and mind, we all teenagers, bro. Like we're all teenagers. No, these are no adults hanging with me. our oldest guy when I was 15 was like 17. You know what I'm saying? So whoever this guy is, he came to the house while we weren't there and said he'd be back when we get back. He pretty much, because he tried to come in there and do his thing, and the lady was like, "Nah, like they be in here." And he like, "All right, don't worry about it. I'll be back, and I'm gonna rob the whole house." And she called us and told us.
Dang.
So we got him first.
Gracious.
And it was like wow. It was just kind of wild how it happened. That was like one of them situations where, like, he's behind this building, and so instead of us going behind the building, they was like, he's further on this end. So we like, nah, let's go from this way, so he won't see us coming. But it's just crazy. As we're about to go this way, he's coming from behind the building, so he actually ended up behind us because we kept walking. We were talking about some kids. We like 15 years old. We like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ended up behind us, and we crossed Godwin. And as soon as we crossed Godwin, both of us just turned around and just started shooting. Right. So I have to finish this story because this is I always tell the kids this story when they tell me how like I had a kid tell me one time, you got to be willing to die for the game. I pulled my car over. Like, what'd you say? Like, I was like, die? And I tell them the story about how me and my friend, we both shot at this guy. We both had the same caliber gun. Right. So we really don't know if it was my bullet that hit him because we both shot. But the guy knew me. So when the police, they came and got me that night. Like, it wasn't like I was on a run. Like, they came and got me that night. He came right back to that house, and they asked for me specifically. And when I told them my name, they was like, hey, we got him. Yeah. So when I got locked up, the guy that was with me, he told my other friends, better him than me. I'll never forget that. What? I'll never forget that. This happened a long time ago. But I've told this story to kids a bunch of times because I want them to realize, like, the only people that's really going to be there for you is your blood family. These relationships that y'all creating in the street, it's not real, bro. Yeah. Like, he don't care about. I got a kid locked up right now in North Carolina who I met Don through. You know what I'm saying? And he called and he asked for money, and I sent him money pretty much every week. And the last time I talked to him, I asked him, like, hey, what's up with them guys you used to be with? Like, you can't get them, you know what I'm saying? They ain't, you know what I'm saying? He like, nah, man, like, either they don't have nothing or you can't even get in contact with them. And see, but this the same kid who told me you got to be willing to die for the game. Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's what the part that kind of like pissed me off a little bit, because it's like, you may not know personally, but we all have heard stories of the same thing. Like, you know, your boys or your girls or whatever, they don't hold you down. And then some of them do sometimes, but it's just a thing of, I'm not gonna die for anybody. Nah. Like, it don't make sense
for my kids, not for nobody in the street.
Yeah.
Like, nah, we're not doing that. And like I just had a kid who was ready to, like, just go off because one of his friends had got killed. And I had to ask him, do you think your friend would want you to die too?
Right.
Because that's what y'all. No, of course not. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course he didn't want you to. Of course he would want. I say you would be better served honoring your friend's death by being successful, bro. Not by going to kill somebody else's child that then is gonna turn around and try to kill you. Like, come on, man. Like, you got to stop thinking with, like, emotions first. You know what I'm saying? But that's something I had to learn too. I had, like, real serious anger problems when I was that age. Like, I did not like it. I was described that when I was, like, younger as, it's like some stuff I never forget. He's rebellious. He doesn't like authority. I'm almost still like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody could say, like, you could be like, hey man, take that trash out, and I had to look, like, double take on you first. Like, like,
who you think you're talking to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of these kids had the same mentality. So I had to kind of learn to play chess.
Yeah, not checkers. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, really sitting down, thinking about what you're about to do and the consequences from it. So I'm a little different now. I've changed over the years where I still would get into stuff maybe in my 20s if you said the wrong thing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm big on respect. But I'm at an age now where you can say, you call me a bitch and you call me pussy. You say, oh, don't touch me. We good. Like, I probably laugh because I'm also at the point now where it's like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like half of the time when somebody doing that to you, if you really go off, you overreacted.
Yeah.
So I just choose to not either try to stay out of situations like that or just handle it a little better. Like, LeBron want no problem. You got it.
That's right. That's right. So, okay, so that was your past and you went through all of that. You were in the street.
Yeah, they sent me to prison for those 2 charges. That's what I went to prison for.
Okay.
I got tried. So I caught one charge in like, say, March. And then the next charge I caught in like July. So while that first one, malicious wounding, was a juvenile charge, as soon as I caught the attempted murder, the judge was like, oh, nah, he need to be tried as an adult. So they certified both charges. The guy that got shot in the face didn't come to court. But the guy that got shot in the leg, the first guy, he came to court. Because I like to mention that because I always said, if I wouldn't have caught that second charge, I wouldn't have been tried as an adult.
Okay.
It probably would have stayed juvenile. But the fact that I caught another shooting case 2 months later, they was like, oh, hell. And it was a fresh law where they started to charge kids that young as adults. So I was shit. They got me.
Yeah. But I'm glad that
I stayed locked up from 17. I came home when I was 21, and then I caught a federal case the next year.
Damn, Eugene. So you just was outside. So, but did you go to federal penitentiary though?
I beat the case.
You beat the case. You beat the feds? That is unheard of.
I'm telling you, bro. You hear me when I was in there, and I just like not literally walking around my chest poked out, but I've been through some stuff in the street that guys don't make it out from.
Don't come back from.
You know what I'm saying? So I take my own advice. I always tell a kid, like I got a kid right now, and I'm telling like something about you, bro. You keep getting out of this stuff. Everybody that I meet that know you feel the same way I feel about you. Like there's something about this kid. But to me, I'm just telling them like it's on you to figure it out. Obviously, you're here for something, bro. You got to figure it out. I think some people just never get time to figure out what it is before they crash out. So I was just
fortunate. So you were fortunate. God still had his hands on you while you were out doing you. So now you are, what are you doing now?
Well, even before the starting the nonprofit, I went back to Norfolk State. I mean, not back to Norfolk State. I went to Norfolk State in 2005, and I graduated in 2010.
What?
Yeah, Sunshine got me in there.
Okay.
Sunshine was like, let's just keep it at 100. I went for the refund checks. Just keep it at 100. You know what I'm saying? But once I got over there, it was like okay, I gotta really do this. I'm not gonna be, because the one thing I don't, if you think highly of yourself, you're not gonna want to be nowhere where you feel like you're dumb. And if I'm just over there just for the refund checks and not really trying to put in good grades,
apply yourself, right?
Then I'm kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So I started applying myself, and I actually enjoy school.
So what would you major in?
Marketing.
Okay.
Yeah. A police officer told me one time, he was like, "Yeah, that's indicative." So
I think that
he pulled me over one time, and I was like, "Man, I ain't into the man. I go to school now." He was like, "What do you go for?" I was like, "Marketing." He was like, "Bet you do."
But it kind of could work out because it's like.
But I only went for marketing because, like, I've done a lot of stuff, man. Like I was a party promoter one time. Did shows and parties. I bought Fab here. I bought Turk here. I bought Shy Glizzy here. I did a white party with Delicious at y'all remember the lady Delicious? I hate saying that name. just calling somebody Delicious, but it was at I forgot what, it's a Dollar Tree now, right there on the corner of South Military Highway and George Washington. Used to be a club right there. I had it right there. I did.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah, I can tell you the name.
Fab and Shy Glizzy at Mansion.
Okay.
Downtown Portsmouth. I did Jadakiss in Miami. So the thought process was, okay, go to school for marketing because you know how to do this stuff already, but a piece of paper will tell somebody you really know what you're doing versus me just trying to explain it to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much where it came from. It was kind of like the same thing.
So let me ask you this: being that you were outside, right? Did you ever go back to the area where? Well, that area's not even there anymore,
it's
right?
Westburg.
Westburg, okay. So,
but you got to think with what I told you I did. I've been the whole portion of it is my area.
Okay,
It's not
gotcha.
necessarily, okay, you from Outer Barber.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when I was young, whatever project was popping, that's where I was
Where you
at.
was at,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. So yeah, I'm from Outer Barber, but I pretty much been in every neighborhood in Portsmouth. Like,
Okay. So being that you've been in every neighborhood in Portsmouth and you were doing you, like did you go back and say, you know what? Like when that time came for you and you said, I'm no longer gonna do that. Like I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. Did you go back to those neighborhoods and pour into those neighborhoods that you
for sure,
once ripped those streets
for
in?
sure, for sure. Now, even starting Big Homies as a 501c got started because, like you said, most people, if you ask them about me, I've been doing the type of work I'm doing even when I was in the street.
Okay.
I just wouldn't put myself out there because people will always probably, in my mind, just me overthinking stuff. They're gonna be like, well, where the hell he getting that money from to do this? So I always played the background. But I want to say 2020 or 2021, we started the organization, I think in 2019 or 2020. The pivot was in 2021 when the kids were just out here shooting so uncontrollably. And I actually woke up one morning. I called Rob Jones. I don't know if y'all know Rob from the barbershop. I called Rob because Rob was working for the sheriff department at the time. And it was just like early in the morning. It's a random call. I was just like, man, I got to do something, bro. I started feeling guilty, to be honest.
Okay.
I started feeling guilty. I started feeling like, yeah, you was out here, but what did you really give these kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of this stuff that's happening is some of the same stuff that you used to do when you was younger. And then the other part that made me feel like I needed to do something because I was starting to see people I grew up with, kids being killed. And it was almost like every day. I just tell people, like, man, waking up in 2021 going on Facebook was like walking through a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where you be like, man, I ain't going on. Think about that. So we said something. I ain't going on Facebook today.
There is something, yeah.
Right. Like this is social media, but it'd be sometimes that you just know it's some bad news up there and you just don't even want to see it.
Overbearing.
Yeah. So to me, it started with having that thought and just like, yo, I got to do something. I actually called Rob and I called Monica Atkins too. Because I've known Monica since I was like young.
Okay.
Monica, like, so the way I talk to her is a little bit different. She respect what I'm doing the same way Kim do. She know where I came from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We probably been in some of the same areas. So I respected what she was doing. And I called her just like, you know, what you think, man? I just feel like I got to do something, man. And she was like, do your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come outside and do your thing. And it kind of just started from there. And for us, it was important to go back to those neighborhoods. Yeah, because we understood that, like, not even necessarily from people like, hey, if you want to get to the root of the problem, you got to go to the source. It wasn't even that thought. It was the thought that what you said, like, I'm from this. And these are the people that's having the most struggles with this stuff. I'm relatable. I know everybody. When I go out there, they know I'm not the police. You know what I'm saying? They know I'm not coming out here. If I'm coming out here like I've been my entire life, think about this.
Right.
I'm coming to give you something.
I don't want nothing from you,
but it's always been like that. Even when it was bad,
right.
I'm still coming to give you something. I come bearing gifts all the time. So, if I'm out here and I got this program, so that's why I get a lot of respect from the people that grew up with me or people that know me, because they like, if my kid with him, I know he good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And that should make you feel good. That should,
I don't take it for granted.
Yeah, especially. Now, what would you say to a kid? You see a younger kid, and he or she reminds you of the old you. Like, what would you say to that kid to encourage them to look at life a little different?
I could give them a bunch of my life examples. I could give them a bunch of examples of kids that this kid may look up to. And what I try to tell all the kids is, before you get to a point where you have a felony and you have to always explain that before somebody give you an opportunity, go ahead and get into your opportunities now. Because a lot of the guys that you either looking up to or some of your peers, when y'all turn 25, 26, maybe have a kid or maybe have more responsibility, those relationships are not going to mean nothing no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a group of kids now that I've been dealing with for a while, unofficially. These are just guys from me just being an older guy in the city that they can look up to, call when they get in problems and stuff like that. A lot of them that's around that 25, 26 age, they chilling right now. And the ones that's not don't have kids.
Mm.
And to me, that's by design, because I think when you have a child, most people, the same person, once you have a child, your thought process becomes what's good for the child. Like, you can't be like, be
Selfish.
selfish. That's the
Yeah.
perfect word to use. You can't be selfish when you make these decisions that could affect your child life. So you can't go out here and get yourself killed because somebody else gonna be raising your child, or nobody gonna be raising your child. He gonna go through the same thing. So you gotta have these conversations with these kids. And for the most part, the ones who have kids, they not even active at all. Like, it's some of that stuff starting to look like super, super childish to them. So they grow up a little faster versus the ones that don't have kids. They kind of still trying to. Now, I got some ones that still like the life. They talk to me like they want to get out, and they looking for opportunities in their time. But I ain't stupid. I know you like. Better, I know you like the attention that it gets sometimes until it get bad. And another thing, these older guys have no control over the younger guys. Zero control.
Right, and I think, but and listening to you, let me go back a little bit. Listen to you when you said you came to the point where you were like, you know what? We got to do something. I got to do something. If we had more people to get to that point of, I got to do something, I think we'll be much further along in the process, no matter what city we're in.
For sure.
So how would you encourage somebody or talking to somebody to, tell them like, look, dude, like, you should consider
X, I do it all the time. This is what I tell anybody. Because I get different calls from certain people. Some people I call, guys that was in the street with me that may have regular jobs now, but applaud what I'm doing. And I try to tell them, bro, you could do the same thing. Like, your life experiences is probably going to be some of the best teachings these kids can get. Now, for somebody who just has an organization that just want to do community work, just go do it. Even if it's on a small scale, you have to go do it for somebody to recognize you and then maybe want to fund your program. Because what you do get a lot is you get a lot of people with really good ideas. And then when they try to go for funding, most people want to see results. Like, no, but we just started. You know what I'm saying? So most people, I tell them, just go start, bro. Like, it take me $0 to go pick up 2 or 3 kids and let them hang out with me for the day. Think about that. You let them hang, just go and doing what you're doing. Like, they hear with you, hey, I got to go do 2 shows today. Y'all come with me. It might cost you maybe $30 the whole day because you had to feed them. But imagine what they got out of just being around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people think it has to be like a show or an event or whatever. That don't necessarily have to be that. I just think once you introduce yourself to them kids will trust you, and the people that's around gonna see how much trust
they have in you.
Right. And they'll be like, hey, we got a whole nother group of kids over here. We're gonna fund you. Can you grab these kids too? We're gonna help you get a van, whatever. But I just think it's more important to just do the work first and let your work speak for you.
Right. That's absolutely true. Especially like now, because everybody is like, now I hear the thing of, I have these nonprofits and they're trying to get this money or whatever. They ain't doing crap. Nobody, I put it like this. I personally think nobody has the answer to stop violence.
No.
Now, can we help put a dent in it? Yes, we can be effective, but I don't think nobody walking this earth could say
how long has violence been happening?
Years upon years.
Right, before they even got guns. Like, violence is just a part of everyday life.
It is.
It's just gonna happen. For me, the concentration was on youth gun violence, trying to curb these kids from shooting each other and taking life for granted and stuff like that. So I feel like, no, it's not something that you could solve overnight. And going to the point you said about different nonprofits popping up, my opinion about that is I'm cool with it. I encouraged it because to me it's just like, it's help for me. Like, I could take 100 kids, but how many kids in Portsmouth?
Yeah, thousands.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's so many kids out here that need help, and me as one organization can't get to all these
That's
kids.
right.
So if it's multiple, now what I don't like is, like, if you're not really doing it. And the only reason why I don't like that is because it might affect funding for somebody that's really doing it. You get what I'm saying? If let's say all three of us got an organization and y'all two really not doing nothing, but I am. And so people gonna be like, they all the same. No, we're not the same. You can't lump them into a group. But I do encourage people, if you want to start a nonprofit, that's fine, bro, because you're doing community work. Like I don't have an opinion about that. I do have an opinion about people that start them and really don't have no intention of helping the kids.
Really doing anything.
Like I don't do that because you playing with some kids. Like I don't. I always tell people like that's why when we was talking today about caring about what people say, I really don't. I care what the kids say.
Yeah,
I do care what the kids say.
Because you know what, the kids know not to tell be telling the truth.
Of course they're gonna tell the truth,
and they're gonna.
But the kids know when you're being phony too.
Yeah, and they will call you out now because these kids now.
They know when you're being phony, so you can't. You gotta be. I think you, if you genuine in what you're doing, everything that you're looking for are gonna come. It just is what it is. It's enough work out here. It's enough problems out here. It's enough neighborhoods that's impacted by some of the stuff that's happening for people to be able to help the kids.
So what makes Big Homies different from Life Camera over there, LLC?
Initially, going straight to the neighborhood.
Okay.
And it was by design. It was meaning it was by. I wouldn't say by design. It was intentional.
Okay.
I'll say that it was intentional. Why? Because we were looking at it from okay, we started this nonprofit. We starting to get in meetings. We starting to sit in different stuff, and you're hearing all these programs and all this help that's available, but nobody's going to the neighborhood. You're like, well, how about we just be a liaison between the information and the resources and the people that need it? That was the part that was intentional. Like, all right, we hear you. I mean, we was talking about Youth Build with PRHA, how we got kids signed up in an employment program while we were out Swanson Home. That's me going outside. Remember, I was telling you how, like, if you go in these neighborhoods, you might be dealing with this certain group of kids, but those other kids eventually going to wonder, like,
what's going on?
What y'all doing over here? What y'all, you know what I'm saying? So those kids, I walk right outside and be like, oh, I got two outside playing basketball right now. I'm bringing them in here and get their paperwork filled out. So to me, it was intentional to go straight to the neighborhoods because we didn't see anybody going to the neighborhoods. Or if they went to the neighborhoods, they only went to the neighborhoods for an event. Part of that came from when we started our Swanson Home. I had a kid ask me, "Will we coming back?" You know, it's certain stuff that happened in my life. I just don't forget, and I remember that. And the only reason why I remember because I was like, "Why you ask? Like, what you mean? We coming back? Why you ask me that?" He was like, "Oh, because people always come out here and we never see them again." Oh, well, y'all gonna always see me. Take my number. You call me anytime you need something. You got a problem. And it goes from helping the kid to now you're helping the family. Might have a brother or a sibling that needs some. Like we had a kid that got shot out Swanson Home. We try to help his mom relocate. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's man, this work it goes a little deep. It's never on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never what you see on Facebook. How about that?
Yeah, and I think that and listening to what you just said, you stated that. You know, you're helping the kid, which is in turn helping the mother, but at the same time, it's helping the community too.
For sure,
it's helping everybody around. So that's a good thing too. And then for him to even say to you, like, "Are you coming back?" That was a opening right there where you slid right on in.
For me to say, you know what, this was the right thought for us to go straight to these neighborhoods. And what gives me an advantage is, like you said, I was in the street, but I also got a level of respect in these neighborhoods where I can go out there. And like you said, when I come out there, they know I'm not the police.
Right.
And I'm coming out here offering some type of resource or something. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they respect it. And like you said, you get calls or little sidebar conversations with some of these 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that's actively involved in gangs where you can kind of understand their heart. And being that I've been through what they've been through, meaning some of the thought processes, some of the anxieties they have when they're talking to me, it's stuff that I've told a kid and he was like, "How you know that?"
Yeah.
Like,
because you've been there.
I've been through it, bro. I'm telling him what he thinking.
Yeah.
Like how he really feel. And he like, How you know that? Like, I'm telling you, bro, it's the same stuff, man. Like, some of the stuff you feel like you have to be involved in it or you're going to be looked at a certain way. Some of the stuff is, I'm from this certain neighborhood, and when these kids see me, they don't care that I'm not involved. You're from this neighborhood, so.
Right. So now Big Homie now has Little Homies.
For sure.
So which is kind of catchy because it's like, going back to the street life is like you were a homie.
Mm-hmm.
So which can easily for a lot of kids who are in that environment, it's like I look at it as being very easy to talk to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So how did you come up with the concept Little Homies, and then explain that to us as well?
So Little Homies was actually Alice's idea. Alice Edwards, she's the co-founder. The Little Homies name was actually her idea. The rec center came about because I told you we were building another rec center from the ground up, 11,000 square feet, 8,000 square foot gym by Southside Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the process now. It's been in the process for about a year now. So, but initially that was supposed to be the rec center, the new one. But of course we found out it don't happen just like that. I thought it did. I thought it was like, hey, look, I'm about to build this rec center. I got this property. We about to do it. They're like, no, we need this plan, this plan, this plan. We need a whole bunch of stuff. So the process took a little longer, and the opportunity came to get this building right here.
Okay.
And once we got the building, she came up with the Little Homies, and Kim Winbush came up with the rest of it because it was just going to be Little Homies Rec Center. She like, no, y'all do more than that. It got, you know what I'm saying? And it has to be in the name that y'all do more than that. So she came up with the Youth Enrichment and Recreation.
Right.
Specifically her. I'm not lying. Like, y'all know Kim. It's like, that's right. Y'all know Kim.
That's absolutely right.
Alice came up with the initial name, and Kim gave us the rest of it. And the purpose of getting this center was because, one, like, we were in a small space in Swanson Home for 2 years. Like, a lot of people don't even know that. Like, we were in Swanson Home in the back of their rental office running an after school program that ran into a summer program that ran into an after school program, like since September 2021, where we started the after school program. And then in the summertime it's summer program, take field trips, whatever. Taking field trips during the school year too. But so getting a rec center was more so like, okay, we need a central location to start trying to take these kids out of the neighborhood.
The environment,
right, because the influences in the neighborhood was so strong that we used to say, like, say the kids don't go to school for like 3 days. When we come back, you can tell they hadn't been around us. And just like, it took us a day or two to get them back. Right. Yeah, bro. So we like, you know what? Once we get our own space, then they'll have a chance to be out of the neighborhood all the time. So you're talking about 5 days a week being picked up from school. So you go to school from 7 to 3, and then from 3 to 7, you with us. So in the wintertime, it's getting dark. Yeah. So when you go home, where you going? You're going to the house. Right. Your homework is done. You've been fed twice, some type of programming. And your parent, and then the other part of it from a parent standpoint is we don't charge anybody anything. So think about how expensive childcare is. But think about the comfort that a parent has to know that, hey, I don't get off work till 7 o'clock. My kids usually in the neighborhood by themselves for 3 or 4 hours after school. Not no more. Yeah, they with us, and we controlling what they take in, and we correcting any behavior that we feel like is like not what we trying to project on them. So we don't allow bullying. No, these kids cuss like sailors. You can't do none of that stuff. Like, we not, and bullying to us is joking on a kid. Like, we not doing that. We not, So, and they get programming up there too. Like, I think Mondays is like art day, do fitness days on Friday. We have different people to come in, like how I was talking to you, like, hey, y'all can come in and talk to the kids about the podcast. Girl Scouts come through, lady coming in and teaching etiquette, theater. Like, we invite people who have programs in who might not have kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I don't have a group of kids to go to, but I got this program I want to do, and not go into the neighborhood. Hey, don't worry about it. We got those neighborhood kids
in our center,
in a safe environment for you and them. and they'll receive what you giving them. So it's been good.
So what are some of the challenges that you may have had when in starting like all this?
Funding.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Funding. That was it. And the cool thing about us was because I never had a problem going in the neighborhoods. I think about that. So if getting kids to service was never ever the issue. I can remember in the beginning we having meetings with people telling them we want to provide a service, and them before we could get the service out, they like, oh, we don't got no money. We're like, I ain't asked for no money though, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? like I didn't even ask for no money. You know what I'm saying? But that goes to show you the people that's been coming to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because anytime somebody coming to say, hey, they want to do something, we just got that at a school. I'm not going to say the school because this is going out.
Right.
But one of the middle schools around here, me and another community guy, they're calling us when something goes wrong at the school. But when he tried to get in, like it was an incident where a kid got in a fight on a Saturday. He got jumped on a Saturday. So he texted me probably 1:00 that morning, telling me he feel like he want to do something. And so I'm like, I got you. I picked him up Sunday morning, let him hang with us the entire day. That's why I say you could do stuff, bro, and it don't really cost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He came, because I do basketball training too. He came to the gym when I trained the kids in the morning. I took all of them out to eat, and then me and him went to the center and played the game. It's a Sunday, just me and him. We go play the game till he fell asleep. So I called the school that Monday morning, like, hey, this is what happened on Saturday. A lot of those kids go to that school.
Okay.
So you need to put something in place when this kid gets to school to make sure they don't fight, right? The kid got to school late. People who see in this story, they're going to know the story because some of the administrators and some of the teachers are from Portsmouth. So they're going to know the story. But they didn't pull him to the side. You know what I'm saying? They didn't pull him to the side.
So they dropped the ball.
They dropped the ball. And they fought. Of course they fought. It was a brawl. They fought, right? So then we get called back up there again once it go down. And one of the administrators said, well, what is their qualifications? That was the first thing he said. Well, what is their qualifications? And they like, what you mean, what are their qualifications? They already servicing some of the kids. They got a lot of respect with some of these kids. Maybe the fight wouldn't have happened if they was there. So it went from what's their qualifications to, well, tell them we don't got no money. Who asked you for some money, bro?
Yeah.
Like, we not here for that, bro. We here because we don't want these kids to hurt themselves. We know we've seen in the past where a simple fight could turn in 2 or 3 years could turn into a whole all-out war when these kids start picking up guns and not fighting no more. So do you want that to happen again when we could just nip this stuff in the bud early? Like, it ain't about no bread, bro. It's about, I have kids walking around the city of Portsmouth, and my kids are at risk too if these kids out here just shooting anytime or if they shoot on site. If they're shooting on site, my kids are at risk too.
That's absolutely true.
So for me, this is how I want the city to be. If you wanted the city to be a certain way, and you just can't keep sitting back complaining about it, you got to try to do something. Even if it's something small, bro. Even if it's grabbing 2 or 3 kids and just letting them hang with you sometimes, because that's a form of mentoring, especially if you living right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You like we were just saying, you got 2 or 3 kids hanging with you, and they like, oh, that's sweet what y'all do. And you start explaining to them how they can monetize it and stuff like that, bro. Like, they'll get interested. Kids are always interested in anything that can make them
make some money. Yeah. And this era, they all want to be bosses.
Of course.
Nobody wants to work.
Nobody want to work. So, y'all bosses though.
Yeah.
I could teach you how to be a boss. Like, that's why I say, like, even when I asked y'all about the podcast thing, I've reached out to people who do STEM. I've reached out to people who do gaming for money. Like, these are hobbies that the kids have that they're doing for free. It's no different than me telling my kid, hey, somebody will pay you to play basketball. Like, word? Y'all will do this stuff for free. For free, You will sit down and play Fortnite for 12 hours straight. Don't wipe ass or nothing. Like, y'all already know these kids don't care when they playing the game. So imagine if you was making a decent dollar amount per hour doing that. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? We just try to give them like different stuff versus
keep them engaged though.
Yeah, the regular stuff. And you wanna get in between those influences in the neighborhood, because I could deal with those kids that's not actively involved in the gangs, but I have to deal with the gangs too. I have to deal with them too. They're out there together, and I bridge that sometimes by maybe having a conversation with one of the kids that's in the game while I got these other kids with me. So they can see, hey, it ain't all sweet, bro. Like he's actually mentally, he's struggling. Like he's, you know what I'm saying?
And if you struggling mentally, that's a big struggle.
Bro, these kids don't even be having $20. I can show you my cash out. These kids don't even be having $20 for food. Hey, can you send me chick? Sometimes it ain't even money. Hey, can you send me a DoorDash? I'm gonna send you the address. These kids that carrying around 30 round drums, like carry guns all day, every day, but don't have money to feed themselves. So to me, and I say that to a heartbeat for the kids that's around me all the time. That's what y'all want to do.
Yeah,
y'all want to be that. Like, nah, it ain't like, nah. A lot of them didn't know it was like that because well, I ain't gonna say they make the shit look so glamorous sometimes. Yeah. And then a lot of it is driven by the music. So like y'all can get some YouTube channels around here. Y'all can pretty much see every gang in Hampton Roads. They all do music and they all have 100 guns in their video. So these kids are fascinated by that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all the YouTube channel. Y'all go there, y'all'll be like, yeah, Suffolk in there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, because guess what? When the video comes on, they're telling you what neighborhood and what city. Yeah.
Where they at?
What neighborhood and what city.
That's crazy. So, like you doing this and you're a vital part of the community, right? Mm-hmm. How do you function with all of what you have been through and listening to what they are going through now? Like, how are you processing that mentally?
The way after, you know how like you do some bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. You wasn't thinking and you had to go sit down somewhere and think about the shit. I can give them that thought process before, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I know what I should have did, pretty much, in some of these situations. Why? Because I went through it, had a chance to sit down and say, damn, I shouldn't have did that. And this is all the reasons why I shouldn't have done it. So I could kind of give them that, like, hey, it's like, if you do this is going to happen, right? And if this happened, this probably going to happen too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Trickle down effect.
Of course. It's always like that. So to me, I try, some listen, some don't.
Right.
Yeah, some don't. Like I got kids that's in situations that didn't listen. They want to listen now.
Yeah.
And I'm cool. I do not give up on no kids, bro. Like I that's just one of my things. And I make sure I tell them that.
Right.
Like when they do dumb shit, I'll be like, not gonna give up on you though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta chill out though. But I'm not gonna get, like, you're gonna keep hearing from me till you don't want to hear from me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, you get in a situation and then I just gonna turn around and say, hey, I ain't fucking with you no more. I ain't doing that.
Which is good, because a lot of the family and the close friends who you think should be there.
There's one calling me now. That's so funny.
Oh wow. They like if it's my kid, I'm like, look, you'd have been through so much. Like I wash my hands. So being that you're there to help,
I have to blink. I'm not lying. I have to blink because I have that thought.
Okay.
Like, man, I don't got time. Mm-hmm. Man, you ain't trying to do that.
Better come right back.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't give up on this kid. People been giving up on this kid's whole life. I ain't gonna add to it. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to the kid asking me, was I coming back? Mm-hmm. You damn right I'm coming back. Yeah. Especially now that you done said it. Mm-hmm. If I won't coming back, I'm coming back now. Yeah, like, so I feel like that about the kids that I deal with, like, regardless of what they go through. Because, come on, I got a kid that he called me when he get in trouble. And then as soon as he get out of jail and he good, I don't hear from him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But when he called, I remind him, I ain't heard from you.
Right, yeah.
Are you calling me now? What you need?
So it's never a point where you like, you know what, I gotta cut you off.
No, they have to cut themselves off. Okay. And what I mean by cut themselves off, meaning either you stop contacting me and I have no way to contact you, or you do something that I can't bring you back from. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I have conversations with, I've had conversations with the police chief. This is why I like the police chief. I like the police chief because
the new police chief?
The new police chief. Okay.
He
said he's from Portsmouth. That's one. Or at least he hung in Portsmouth. I think he might be from Camelot or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. But he told me, he pretty much applauded the work I was doing. I've had him talk to like real live gang members. Why? because he's trying to help them. And he'll tell me some shit like, I would rather help them out through you than have to arrest them. Because at the end of the day,
you got dropped.
I have to do my job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if I can make it, because I know what these kids struggle with, I know shit ain't like right for them to even be successful in some of their backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that. But if I'm sending somebody to you, or if I've talked to you personally and told you I'll help you, and then you still go do some dumb shit, my conscience is better as a, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a police chief, but he has a conscience about his community. You know what I'm saying?
As he should.
Right. So, but if I try to help you and you still go do some dumb shit, at least my conscience said, well, I told you, and I gave you an opportunity to go this way, and you didn't. So, hey, I got to do my job now. You know what I'm saying? Imagine how many people he done seen, came in contact with when they was younger. He get a call or he pop up on the scene. This kid done got killed.
Right.
Yeah, bro. Like, that shit bother you. I don't care who you is, bro. At the end of the day, we all human, bro. I don't care what your title is.
That's right.
And some of this stuff, like I tell my people all the time, I'm gonna need therapy for sure.
Oh yes,
remember how I told you how I grew up? This I'm gonna need therapy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because growing up like that, you do have this. Like, I ain't gonna say I feel like I'm a tough guy, but shit, I ain't soft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So saying I need therapy, I mean that shit. Hey, bro, listen. Because I've taken on a lot of these kids' issues. Like, so when they go through something, we go through something. Yeah, bro. I don't care what it is.
But it's nothing wrong with sharing the load though. Because
what you mean?
Like sharing the load, like you were saying, like when the kids are going through something, and if they come to you and express to you whatever it is that they're going through, you're there to help them in whatever capacity you can.
For sure.
And the actuality is
and it doesn't stop. Them. Like, the center closes at 7, but the center just closed. I'd never close. You just asked me what my birthday in 2 weeks. You said, what am I doing? I was like, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
I can't. I cannot leave for long periods of time. Not yet. I said I'm gonna do something in like August, but I have not taken a trip. And then I coach basketball too. I coach and train basketball too. So outside of that work, that takes me away too. But it's still work. So it's like, yeah.
So your kids, how many kids you have?
2.
And they young?
11 and 17.
Okay, so they are
both play sports.
Okay.
Yeah, one play football, and my oldest son is really, really good at basketball. Like, real good.
Okay, I think I met him. Well, I heard about him anyway. Okay, so like with your kids, because you're not only their dad too, you're everybody's dad. Like, so have your kids expressed to you anything? Community dad. Community dad. So have your kids expressed to you like, hey, Pop, like, I mean, we understand you doing X, Y, and Z, but we need you as our dad too.
I'm self-conscious about it. That I'm not gonna take away from my kids to deal with the kids I'm dealing with in the community. So what I do sometimes is they're together.
Okay. Yeah, put them together. Okay.
They're together. Like, if I might be doing something with my son, and I'll take the kids with me. Or we all in the gym together, or we go, like, some of these trips or some of these outings or some of this stuff we do, my kids are there too.
Okay.
But that's for a reason too. One is because I want them around me. I never miss my kids' games, training. Like, I always set time aside for that. I don't care what's going on. But I also want them to understand the work that I do.
Yeah.
Because at some point, hey, like, both my kids play sports. So, especially for my oldest son, at some point he's gonna stop playing sports and he's gonna come back to Portsmouth, and hey, you can come back to Portsmouth and pretty much do what I was doing. Maybe take over what I was doing. So
right, yeah.
I like for them to be around it so they can understand. And they treat the kids like they're the kids, their friends too, especially my youngest son. Yeah. My youngest son like one of the kids.
Okay.
Nico is definitely like one of the kids. A lot of them kids are his friends, they're his age group. So yeah, man, they don't really look at it like community work. They look at it like we just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I told you the kid that got in the fight, that was my son and his basketball teammate. My son go to Norcom. That was his teammates in there training. He know that kid. He been knowing him from being around us. So they didn't look at him to like, oh, he got a program kid with him today. No, he just has a kid with you got to think, I've been doing this work. So maybe not for my youngest son, but my oldest son, no, we always been around looking out for these kids. Yeah, so he kind of understands a little bit.
Yeah. Just say community dad. You never get off, which is actually a good thing. Now, so what do you have going on now?
I mean, the rec center is the existing rec center, which is on Elliott Avenue, 2605 Elliott Avenue in Portsmouth, is 2 buildings. The initial building has been open since August. The building that's beside it, where I told you we're putting the podcast stuff at, that building is pretty much painted, floors done, bathroom done. Some equipment has gone in there, maybe like a TV up on the wall and stuff like that. So probably in the next couple weeks, everything we're putting in that building to cater kind of to middle school and up kids. We wanted to kind of get those middle school kids out of in there with the elementary school kids and kind of give them their own space. So we said by spring break, hopefully by spring break, that building should be open. And then we have the 7-Eleven on the corner of Effingham and Lincoln Street. It's like an acre of land. Right, but have you ever rode past? It's like a tree sit right in the middle of the grass. That's the land that we purchased from the City of Portsmouth to put another brand new rec center there, 11,000 square feet. That'll have 3,000 square feet worth of classroom space and 8,000 square feet of gym space. So we'll put a 4,200 square foot court in there and put some other stuff inside of there. So that should be coming. All of that should be coming this year, man. Like we kind of 2024 gonna be like a separation year. That's how I look at it. Yeah, because like even going back to the nonprofits, I respect the work that everybody do, but like I was telling you in there, at some point you have to be able to separate yourself from not necessarily. We all have the same goals. Like the goals may stay the same, but how you get to them might change, or some of the steps you've taken. Like even us opening up a rec center, like you got to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to open one up too if you want to separate yourself. Or it might not be opening up a rec center. It might be something else, something that you see. Like what we don't try to do is everybody is, because you see that a lot. Everybody just I forgot what they call it when they like. Well, damn, y'all got 3 organizations in one neighborhood doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody need to either move to another neighborhood that ain't getting the service, or somebody need to switch something they're doing. Maybe you need to cater to the younger kids. You need to get the young girls. You need to get, you know what I'm saying? So in order not to clash with some of the other groups and like doing the same work in the same places, we try to make like capital investments like the center and doing this rec center and stuff like that to try to just separate, not really separate, but kind of separate.
I think what you guys doing the rec center, you definitely have separated yourself. But
I also we do it for but the other part is not separate like we don't want to be like y'all, but
like that.
But for me, I swear to God, I sit back when people say stuff to me, because y'all hear the same stuff I hear about people that's doing different work in the city and stuff like that. And I always say, man, most of the stuff that we do, we're not trying to like. I actually hope you're inspired by it. You know what I'm saying? I actually hope you see like, hey, they doing this over there and they getting us a lot of success. Let's go over here and do the same thing, bro. Because at the end of the day, we're not competing. We're actually colleagues. That's how I look at it. It's just my personal opinion. I never said it. I probably said it to somebody personally, but I honestly feel like that we're all colleagues. We all have the same goals. We might have different ways that we try to approach it or different things that we try to do. But ultimately, we trying to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it for us to, going back to the word separate necessarily doesn't necessarily mean try to get apart from you, but just do something different than what you're doing with the same goal.
Right. And I think it'll be even better if, taking along the same lines you were saying about, everybody being in the same area and you're going over here, you're going over there. I think it's better if one have conversations with one who's already doing it.
Right.
Because if I'm already doing it and you're just now coming in, you can learn a lot from me. I can learn a lot from you.
Somebody told me. Somebody told me something. And it was like, and they said it because of what I was doing. So like said, I just again an example. Like say we're doing an after school program, but we're also doing community events where we popping up in different neighborhoods and bringing a grill and doing giveaways and stuff like that. So the person told me, they was like, yo, do more of this. That, you know what I'm saying? Like do more of the after school stuff, the field trips. And the reason why they said that, because it goes back to the kid asking, am I coming back? That's constant engagement. I can influence you more if I'm seeing you 5 or 6 days a week
that's
versus
true.
once a month. You know what I'm saying? So somebody had to tell me that for me to be like, yeah, that makes sense, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you can start smelling your own shit and feel like, oh shit, I had 2, 3 community days and da-da-da-da-da-da, and you kind of feel like you're doing something or you're impacting something. Yeah, you might be bringing awareness to something, but are the kids being impacted? We don't know, but I know if I see you there 6 days, it's gonna be way more than if I see you once a month. So somebody put that in my ear, like it was a compliment though. They wasn't like, hey, telling me you don't do this, do that. It was just like, hey man, I like this, do more of this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we do stuff with the little kids, but I picked up 4 or 5 guys to take them to do odd jobs. They all get in my car with guns, and I gotta be, hey bro, don't get in my no, hey bro, don't get in my shit with that. You don't need your gun today. You good. This a day you don't need your gun. You with me.
Right.
You all right.
Okay, so this is one of the last questions. I have 2. I was just thinking about it. When you, along the lines of you just said about putting somebody in your car and they have a weapon on them. I've heard people say before that, I mean, they got to keep a weapon on because of the area that they're in.
Again, I grew up just like they did. So at no point am I going to tell you or judge you for having it. I'll say that. I'm not going to judge you for having it, but you can't get in the car with me with it. It's just what it is. But think about what I'm saying. It's twofold. 1, you don't need to have it. You know what I'm saying? 2, you safe with me, bro. You good. I'm not going to take you nowhere. Nobody going to do anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we not doing. I remember taking some kids somewhere and I was like, we were putting off for doing something, a job or something. And I was like, hey, y'all want to go to Brighton? And they was like, what part? I said, never mind. Never mind. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. We good. We're gonna find something. Yeah, we're gonna find something else for y'all to do. We ain't gotta go to Brighton. If you gotta ask me what part, Brighton ain't that big. We talking about Suffolk. Like what part of Suffolk you talking? No, we talking about one neighborhood. Yeah. And you gotta tell me what part. Don't worry about it, bro. We ain't doing that. Don't even worry about it. But they respect you for that. And it's a respect level, because I'm being stern when I tell you, don't get in my car with that shit, bro.
And you mean that?
Yeah, bro. Like with my face balled up. What the hell wrong with y'all? Like, don't get in here with that, bro. Like, no, we not doing that. And they respect it.
Yeah.
But you respect it because you know I'm not taking you nowhere I'm not taking you nowhere where you have to have it.
Right.
Yeah. We not.
Well, I have learned a lot. Even just sitting there talking to you in the conference room, I'm really realizing that I think everybody should get involved, but I don't think that everybody is equipped, had the capacity to get involved.
To do it at certain levels.
Yeah.
That's what it is. To me, everybody can get involved, but it's certain levels. It's certain stuff that, like, but they just can't do. Physically not able to do. Physically, I can't go to this neighborhood. I don't know nobody out there. I can't do X, Y, Z. I get it, but it's other ways for you to get involved and for you to help your city or your community get better, other than just trying to do what somebody else is doing. I always tell people, like, I have a young lady that does something for girls. I can't remember her. I don't want to. She does something for young ladies. And I was like, yo, that's a great idea. Why? Because most groups are not targeting these same neighborhoods, but the young ladies in these neighborhoods. We know the women or the young girls drive a lot of this stuff. Some of these guys are trying to impress these girls. So why not get to them too? Like, if you're gonna get to it, let's get to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get to all of it. And it's a whole bunch of different ways and angles that you can deal with the problem that's out here, other than, like I said, copying what somebody else did.
Yeah, that's what our conversation. But, it comes a time in the podcast where we ask all of our guests how their time has been since they've been on Wait Again Minute. And so, yeah, you're next.
For me?
Yeah.
I hated this shit. I'm just like, it's fucking horrible. No, actually, it's my first podcast.
Oh, it is?
First time I ever did a podcast. I've done news interviews. I've done radio interviews.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never done a podcast. So I was actually looking forward to it. Like, okay, let me, you know what I'm saying? And just from a personality standpoint, like a lot of people do not hear me talk. They just think I'm just whatever they heard.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I look at situations like this, something I had to break out of. I've always been
behind the scenes.
Yes, don't take my picture, please.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like that before. So I'm kind of getting used to, just letting people know who I am and what I've become versus, because like you said, some people gonna still see me as
that guy,
the guy that they knew when they was growing up, and I'm not. People evolve. I had to learn that about people myself. Like people change, bro. People grow the fuck up.
Yeah,
they grow up, man. I think I grew up. Shit,
ain't nothing wrong with that. So overall, you had a good time on.
I had a great time. It was cool. It was cool.
That's good. That's good.
But y'all know that anyway, man. Y'all cool, man. Y'all been doing this shit. I wasn't gonna make it weird. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no. But you know what?
I called Kim. Kim told me y'all talked to Kim like last night or day before yesterday.
I talked to her today.
I was like, Kim, what they about to ask me, Kim? Kim was like, look, they got you. Calm down. They got. I was like, all right now.
What's up, family? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Wait Again Minute Podcast. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Hit that notification button as well. So when we drop a new episode, you'll be first to know. Stay tuned to all things Wait Again.